Ladies and gentlemen, a very warm welcome to you. You are watching In Search of the Self. Bethlehem in the land of Judah. You are by no the least of leading cities of Judah. From you will come a leader who will guide my people. This was the prophecy. We have Shakuntala Howaldar with us. Shakuntala, welcome. This prophecy involves the king, the evil king, but also please tell me more about the story.
This prophecy is heralding the coming of Jesus, the King of the Jews, with inverted commas.
Of course.
But mind you, here we're not talking about king, meaning political power. Here you're talking about Jesus who has spiritual power.
The leader.
The leader. But this is very, very confusing because the Jews in the temple think he has come to usurp their power. Herod the king, the evil king,
Yes.
thinks that Jesus has come to take his power. So it is a strange set of circumstances because the prophecy...
It was based on speculation, you would say?
I would say it is on interpretation.
All right.
And speculation, yes. Because if I know there is a gentleman with a blue tie who's coming with speckles and he's combing his hair in a special way, who's going to come and kill me, when you come before me, I will be afraid.
Of course.
So in the same way, prophecies were a communication method to the general public, and most people were afraid because they thought Jesus had come to take political power.
But back in those times, people believed in prophecies.
Believed in prophecies.
It was a way of communication, but it was also a way of keeping people in line, probably.
In a way, yes, and in a way, no, because the people of Israel have had many prophets.
Yes.
And Moses, one of the grand prophets,
Of course.
came from the mountain and gave the 10 Commandments. And don't forget, the people at that time were very, very barbaric.
Yes.
They were robbing, they were stealing, they were wild, absolutely sauvage.
Yes, of course.
So how do you bring order? And how do you bring any elements of spirituality to a mad crowd?
So the 10 Commandments did bring that to some point.
Well, it brought certain ideas, but I'm telling you something.
Probably a sense of direction.
In a way, yes, but are we ready to listen to any direction? People are not ready just because the prophet comes and says, don't do and do. They are having their own urges, their own desires, their own propensities, their own tendencies. And when there is a law telling you do not steal, they said, Kifeno, I have no meat on my table and Mr. Hassamal has 4 pieces, I'm going to take one.
It's a survival instinct.
I love that word. This is the key word. They were survivors in a very tough land.
Of course.
And they did not have plenty of food, and they did not have plenty of fish and meat and vegetables, of course, rare.
And of course, King Herod did not make their life any easier.
No, King Herod is a very evil king.
Exactly.
And he was trampling on the poor people. But that was a rule. All the kings everywhere, you will see they trample on the rights of the majority. And the majority think, oh, the enemy is amongst us, and they keep fighting. And the person at the top is clapping his hands. He says, go on fighting, and I will continue ruling. Divide and rule. What is colonization? What is imperialism? Everything boils down to divide and rule, and I am safe.
It's a pyramid structure.
It's a pyramid structure, and the one who has might has right. This is wrong, but this is the way it works.
Right is might.
Might is right, according to the kings.
But that's wrong.
That is wrong.
Right is might.
Right is might, my son.
Of course.
But of course, who believed in right? Nobody believed in right. Now look at the time of Jesus. Jesus was born in a manger. What is a manger? This is where the cows and all of them are kept in the cattle shed.
Exactly.
He was born in a manger. Why? Because it was predicted that he would be killed by King Herod at birth, because the prophecy said there will be a young boy who will be born in Bethlehem and who will kill you.
But
So
the prophecy says, from you will come a leader. But then how does that?
no,
It's very confusing.
It is confusing. This is why the Old Testament and the New Testament needs to be reinterpreted by wise people all the time.
All right.
If you're going to be interpreting the Bible to suit your own purpose, then you are doing a wrong thing. Now, in terms of Galileo, the poor scientist said the sun is here and the earth goes round the sun. And everybody said, you are doing the wrong thing, Galileo. You are going to be killed.
Yes.
So poor Galileo said, oh my God, what should I say? They said, just say the opposite. So he had to say the earth is in the middle and that the sun goes round. He said a lie. He said a terrible lie, but he realized to survive.
How did that affect King Herod when he heard of the prophecy that from Virgin Mary will come a leader?
Well, actually, he knew that a child is born, but the horrible king, he killed all the children in Bethlehem. Can you believe that?
That's a whole generation wiped out.
A whole generation of children were killed because of the fear of being killed himself. But he did it like Kamsa,
the story of Krishna.
Story.
But the different thing is, when King Herod killed all the children, did that not cause an uproar with the people around?
But of course, but they were deja subjugated. They were like esclaves. So So deja they were like esclaves, like the coolies. And when you are a coolie or when you are an esclave, do you have a voice? You don't have. There are no rights.
So with all this suppression, how did Jesus grow up?
That's a lovely question. When his life was in danger, his mother Mary and his father, who was a carpenter, took him away from the land of Herod.
But he survived? They ran away?
They ran away.
All right.
They ran away under cover, and they went to this little place where they found shelter, and Mary gave birth to Jesus. But the beautiful part of this story is 3 kings who heard about the birth of the Savior come to bring him gifts. They give him gifts of gold.
How did they know?
They were told by a supernatural process. A higher being told them, you're going to have somebody extraordinary coming. Go and greet him. So,
but of course, that's not to be taken at the physical level. It's more at a mental, spiritual level.
You see what happens, there were the shepherds who also heard the story of Jesus. How did they hear? I think there were people who were waiting for the Messiah to be born.
So prior to the birth, they were expecting it to happen.
Expecting it to happen. So when you connais quelque chose pour arriver,
you get excited.
Not only excited, you're full of hope.
Yes.
Don't forget, when you're suffering, you're more full of hope.
Than anything else.
Than anything else.
Yes.
Si when an guillotine lo toi, and dimun pije toi, tu peux saper la mon mono. Espérez, tu peux saper la.
You put all your hope on it.
Put all your hope.
Your life depends on it.
That's right. So you see, the birth of Jesus is awaited. The shepherds are waiting. The kings, the smaller kings from the smaller kingdom. And there's a beautiful black person who comes from a country where it is hot. So you can think of people from Sudan or kings from the hotter countries. And he comes with gold. He comes with frankincense.
So you're saying that the birth of Jesus Christ was celebrated?
It was accepted. It could not be celebrated.
That's why, because if it was celebrated, then it would have been very dangerous to...
It was not celebrated. It was hidden away because Herod was still king and nobody wanted him to hear. And this is the whole secret, my dear son. The secret is as follows. Herod received the 3 kings who were going to see Jesus. So he said, I'll get Chibabala. Bien bon, bien bon.
But he knew, did he know it was Jesus?
No, but he suspected. He suspected. But quand zot retourné, au capable de un peu plus là, what is his name? Wait. He did not know the whole story. But he suspected that when the three kings came and told him there's a beautiful birth coming and the child is in Bethlehem, he had a dut. So he said, when you come back, please tell me more.
Why didn't he try to kill the baby?
Because he was not sure.
But it would
He
have
was
been
not
just
sure.
another baby to
No,
him.
but he was not sure. It was far away. The child was taken far away from where he was. So he had a doubt. But he thought the three kings would come and tell him.
Yes.
But
What
the
happened?
three kings run away. They know that Herod is very cruel. They know the poor baby will not have a chance. So as soon as they saw Jesus, they go back to their countries. They don't go back to Herod to tell him the truth.
Then what happens to Herod then?
He dies a normal death later, you know. I mean, he dies a death.
So the story of Jesus' birth never came to him after that?
Never came to him. He continued to rule. And Jesus was growing, becoming a young man, coming to know more about life. But there is a beautiful thing about Virgin Mary. You know, there is a big controversy. Is it a virgin? Is it? My question is, how can a woman as wonderful as Mary give birth to somebody so beautiful if she was not pure? From something that is pure, purity is born.
Of course.
You can't have something so beautiful as Jesus.
So probably we should just focus on the positive point that
She was pure.
She was pure.
And she gave birth to Jesus in a manger which was visited by three kings, and also the shepherds far away knew that there is somebody who is beautiful coming to earth.
That's such an inspiration to all of us. We have come to the end of this episode. Please tune in next time for more of In Search of the Self.